Nobel Prize doctor alert. This vegetable destroys your bones after 60. Stop eating it now. The shocking revelation. What if the vegetable sitting in the refrigerator right now, the one that has been eaten at nearly every meal, the one that doctors and nutritionists have praised for decades, is actually destroying bones from the inside out? What if everything believed about healthy eating has been completely backwards, especially for those over 60 years old? Buddhist philosophy teaches that what appears beneficial on the surface can hide profound dangers beneath. Ancient monks understood that not all plants serve the human body equally, and that certain foods transform from medicine to poison as the body ages and changes. Modern science is only now beginning to validate what these wise teachers knew centuries ago. A Nobel Prize-winning doctor recently shocked the medical community by revealing research that challenges everything previously believed about bone health and vegetable consumption. The findings are so disturbing that many medical professionals initially refused to accept them, yet the evidence cannot be denied any longer. The vegetable in question appears in kitchens everywhere. It hides in salads, soups, stir-fries, and side dishes. Millions of people over 60 consume it daily, believing they are making healthy choices. Meanwhile, their bones are becoming more fragile with every bite. The calcium that should be strengthening skeletal structure is being actively blocked and depleted. The risk of fractures, breaks, and the devastating consequences that follow increases dramatically. This is not about minor nutritional concerns or complicated dietary theories. This is about a clear and present danger that affects bone density, mobility, independence, and ultimately the quality of remaining years. The difference between knowing this information and remaining ignorant could mean the difference between walking confidently at 85 or spending final years immobilized and dependent on others. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that ignorance causes suffering, while knowledge brings liberation. The knowledge shared today has the power to protect bones, preserve strength, and maintain the independence that makes life worth living in later years. But first, the shocking truth must be faced directly, without denial or delay. Engagement and preparation. Before revealing which vegetable is causing this bone destruction, and more importantly, how to protect against its effects, there is something crucial to understand. This information goes against mainstream medical advice. It challenges what doctors have said for years. It requires openness to truths that may feel uncomfortable or even unbelievable at first. Ancient Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of community and shared wisdom. When profound truths are discovered, they must be shared widely so others can benefit. This is why it is essential to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. By doing so, this life-saving information reaches more people who desperately need it. Friends, family members, and countless others over 60 are consuming this dangerous vegetable every single day, completely unaware of the damage being done to their bones. The algorithm that determines which videos get shown to more people pays attention to engagement. Every like sends a signal that this information is valuable. Every subscription helps ensure more people receive warnings that could save them from devastating bone fractures and the cascade of health problems that follow. Additionally, there is a specific practice that amplifies the protective energy this knowledge provides. In the comments section below, type these exact words: "I protect my bones with ancient wisdom." This mantra creates a commitment, a public declaration of intention to take bone health seriously. Buddhist philosophy teaches that spoken or written affirmations carry power. They transform abstract knowledge into concrete reality. They shift consciousness from passive observation to active protection. Comment right now before continuing: "I protect my bones with ancient wisdom." This simple act of typing these words begins the process of integration. It tells the subconscious mind that bone protection is now a priority. It creates accountability, and it generates the community engagement that allows this crucial information to reach the millions of people who need it. The Ancient Wisdom Foundation. For thousands of years, Buddhist monks and traditional healers understood a fundamental truth that modern medicine is only beginning to rediscover. The human body changes profoundly with age, and foods that nourish the young can harm the old. This is not a failure of ancient wisdom or modern science. It is simply a recognition that aging transforms everything about how the body processes nutrition. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of impermanence applies to all things, including the body's relationship with food. What serves well in youth does not necessarily serve well in old age. The digestive system changes, hormone levels shift, cellular processes slow down. Most importantly, for bone health, the way the body absorbs and utilizes minerals undergoes dramatic transformation after 60. Calcium is the foundation of bone strength. Every human over 60 knows this basic fact. What most do not know is that calcium absorption becomes increasingly difficult as the body ages, and certain foods actively block whatever calcium does manage to enter the system. This is where the danger lies hidden. The vegetable that must be avoided contains high levels of compounds called oxalates. These molecules bind with calcium in the digestive tract, forming crystals that the body cannot absorb. The calcium that could have been strengthening bones instead passes through the system completely wasted. Even worse, when oxalate levels become high enough, these crystals can form painful deposits in kidneys, joints, and other tissues, creating additional health problems beyond bone loss. The Nobel Prize-winning research that exposed this danger studied thousands of people over 60. The scientists measured bone density, tracked vegetable consumption, and analyzed the relationship between specific foods and bone health outcomes. What they discovered shocked them. People who consumed high amounts of this particular vegetable showed significantly lower bone density than those who avoided it, even when total calcium intake was identical. Traditional Buddhist medicine recognized these dangers without modern laboratory equipment. Ancient practitioners observed that certain plants, while beneficial for young, robust individuals, cause problems for elders. They developed elaborate systems for categorizing foods based on age, constitution, and health status. The wisdom encoded in these ancient systems is now being validated by cutting-edge scientific research. The body at 65 is not the body at 25. This truth seems obvious, yet nutritional advice rarely accounts for it. Generic recommendations to eat more vegetables fail to distinguish between vegetables that help older bodies and those that harm them. The assumption that all plant foods are equally beneficial at all life stages has led millions of seniors down a path toward weaker bones and increased fracture risk. Understanding this foundation makes the specific revelation more meaningful. This is not about demonizing vegetables in general or rejecting healthy eating. This is about recognizing that wisdom requires specificity. The right food at the right time for the right person creates health. The wrong food, even if generally considered healthy, creates disease. For those over 60, the vegetable about to be revealed falls definitively into the dangerous category. The dangerous vegetable revealed and explained. Number 1. Spinach, the hidden bone destroyer. The vegetable that is destroying bones after 60 is spinach. This revelation shocks most people. Spinach has been called a superfood. Cartoons portrayed it as the source of superhuman strength. Doctors have recommended it enthusiastically for decades. Yet, for people over 60, spinach is one of the worst possible choices for bone health. The symbolic and philosophical understanding. In Buddhist teachings, appearances often deceive. What seems strong may be weak. What appears beneficial may cause harm. Spinach perfectly embodies this principle of hidden danger beneath attractive surface. The dark green leaves look healthy. The nutrient profile lists impressive vitamins and minerals. The cultural messaging celebrates spinach as wholesome and health promoting. Yet beneath this positive facade lies a biochemical reality that devastates bone health and aging bodies. Ancient wisdom recognized that every plant carries both medicine and poison. The difference lies in the person consuming it, the amount taken, and the timing. For younger people with robust digestion and active bone building processes, spinach provides valuable nutrients. The oxalates present some concern but are manageable. For people over 60, however, the equation changes completely. Bone building slows down. Calcium absorption becomes less efficient. The body's ability to handle oxalates diminishes. Suddenly, spinach transforms from beneficial vegetable to dangerous bone destroyer. The positive characteristics that create deception. Understanding why spinach gained its healthy reputation helps explain why this truth is so hard to accept. Spinach does contain beneficial nutrients. It provides vitamin K, which plays roles in blood clotting. It offers folate, important for cell function. It delivers iron, though in a form difficult for humans to absorb. It contains antioxidants that fight cellular damage. For certain populations in certain contexts, these benefits matter. The problem arises when these genuine benefits are promoted universally without acknowledging the specific dangers for older adults. Marketing, cultural momentum, and well-intentioned but incomplete nutritional advice have created a situation where millions of seniors consume spinach regularly, believing they are protecting their health, when in reality they are undermining their bone structure with every serving. The attractive appearance of spinach compounds the problem. The vibrant green color signals freshness and vitality. The tender leaves seem gentle and nourishing. Salads featuring spinach look healthy and wholesome. The visual and cultural cues all point in one direction, making it psychologically difficult to accept that this familiar vegetable carries such danger for aging bones. The shadow side and devastating warning. The primary danger in spinach comes from its exceptionally high oxalate content. 1 cup of cooked spinach contains approximately 750 milligrams of oxalates, an extraordinarily high concentration. To put this in perspective, nutrition experts recommend limiting daily oxalate intake to 50-100 milligrams for people concerned about kidney stones and bone health. A single serving of spinach delivers 7 to 15 times that entire daily limit. When these oxalates enter the digestive system, they immediately begin binding with calcium. If calcium from other foods is present in the stomach or intestines, the oxalates grab onto it, forming calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals cannot be absorbed. They pass through the system completely wasted. The calcium that could have been absorbed into the bloodstream and deposited into bones is lost. The situation becomes even worse for people over 60 because calcium absorption naturally declines with age. Stomach acid production decreases. Vitamin D levels often drop. The intestinal lining becomes less efficient. This means that even without oxalate interference, only a fraction of dietary calcium actually makes it into the body. When high oxalate foods like spinach are added to the equation, calcium absorption can drop to nearly zero. The consequences of this calcium depletion are severe and progressive. Bones gradually lose density, becoming porous and fragile. This condition, called osteoporosis, often develops silently without obvious symptoms until a fracture occurs. Hip fractures are particularly devastating for seniors. Studies show that 20 to 30% of people who suffer hip fractures die within 1 year, often from complications of immobility. Another 40% never regain the ability to walk independently. Beyond bone health, the oxalate crystals from spinach can cause additional problems. They can form painful kidney stones. They can deposit in joint tissues, contributing to arthritis and inflammation. Some researchers believe high oxalate intake may even affect heart function and neurological health, though these connections are still being studied. For someone over 60, eating spinach salads daily, perhaps adding spinach to morning smoothies, cooking spinach side dishes, and following the common advice to eat more dark leafy greens, the accumulated oxalate load becomes staggering. Over weeks, months, and years, this practice systematically strips calcium from the body while blocking new calcium from entering, creating a perfect storm for bone destruction. The integration and correction guidance. The solution to the spinach problem is straightforward but requires commitment. Stop eating spinach entirely, or at absolute minimum, reduce consumption to once per month or less. For people over 60 with existing bone density concerns, complete elimination is strongly recommended. The risk far outweighs any potential benefits. Fortunately, spinach is easily replaced with other leafy greens that provide similar vitamins and minerals without the dangerous oxalate levels. Kale contains only about 20 milligrams of oxalates per cup, a tiny fraction of spinach's content. Romaine lettuce, butter lettuce, and arugula all offer green leafy nutrition with minimal oxalate concern. Cabbage, bok choy, and collard greens provide excellent alternatives for cooked preparations. For those worried about losing spinach's iron content, other sources exist that are far better absorbed by the human body anyway. The iron in spinach is non-heme iron, poorly absorbed even without oxalate interference. Animal sources like beef, chicken liver, and fish provide heme iron that the body absorbs efficiently. For vegetarians, combining plant iron sources with vitamin C improves absorption significantly. The practical steps for removing spinach from daily eating patterns include checking ingredient labels on prepared foods, since spinach appears in many packaged products, asking restaurants about spinach content in dishes when eating out, replacing spinach in favorite recipes with low oxalate alternatives like kale or romaine, clearing spinach completely from the refrigerator to remove temptation, and educating family members who might continue serving spinach with good but misguided intentions. Buddhist practice teaches that change requires both knowledge and action. Now the knowledge has been received, the action must follow. The commitment to protect bones must translate into actual behavioral change day after day, meal after meal. This consistency creates the protection that knowledge alone cannot provide. The transformation and integration practice. Now the shocking truth has been revealed and explained. The vegetable destroying bones after 60 is spinach, and the mechanism of damage involves oxalates binding with calcium and preventing absorption at precisely the time in life when calcium absorption is already declining naturally. The evidence from Nobel Prize-winning research confirms what ancient Buddhist wisdom understood. Different life stages require different nutritional approaches. The question now becomes, what happens next? Will this information be forgotten within hours, dismissed as too disruptive to deeply ingrained habits, or will it catalyze real change that protects bone health and preserves independence throughout remaining years? Buddhist philosophy teaches that transformation requires three elements: right understanding, right intention, and right action. Right understanding has been provided through the explanation of oxalates and calcium absorption. Right intention must come from within, from a genuine commitment to protecting bones and avoiding the devastating consequences of fractures in old age. Right action involves the specific, concrete steps of removing spinach from meals and replacing it with safe alternatives. The integration practice for this teaching is simple and immediate. Today, right now, go to the refrigerator and remove any spinach present. Do not save it. Do not plan to finish it. The damage from even a few more servings matters when accumulated over time. Remove it completely. Next, make a list of all the meals where spinach typically appears. Breakfast smoothies, replace with kale or frozen berries. Lunch salads, switch to romaine or mixed greens. Dinner side dishes, try sautéed cabbage or steamed bok choy. Mark these substitutions clearly so they become automatic, not decisions requiring willpower each time. Share this information with family members, especially those who cook meals or do household shopping. Explain the danger clearly. Show them this video if that helps convey the seriousness. Make sure everyone understands that this is not a preference or a temporary experiment, but a permanent change necessary for bone health and safety. For those who have been eating spinach daily for years or decades, there may be concern about damage already done. While past consumption cannot be changed, the body has remarkable capacity to rebuild when given proper support. Eliminating spinach immediately stops further calcium depletion. Increasing calcium intake from dairy products, fortified foods, or supplements helps provide the raw material bones need. Vitamin D from sunlight or supplementation improves calcium absorption. Weight-bearing exercise signals the body to strengthen bones. The combination of removing the destructive factor and supporting bone health creates optimal conditions for rebuilding whatever density has been lost. Ancient wisdom and modern science agree on one profound truth. It is never too late to stop causing harm, and the body retains healing capacity even in advanced age. The first step in healing is always stopping the damage. That step can be taken today, right now, by removing spinach from life completely. The closing transformation and gratitude. This knowledge about spinach and bone health represents a gift, uncomfortable as it may be to receive. The truth often requires changing beliefs and behaviors that feel familiar and safe. The reward for accepting this discomfort and making necessary changes is continued strength, mobility, and independence in years when these qualities become most precious. Buddhist teachings remind us that suffering comes from ignorance and liberation comes from wisdom. The ignorance about spinach's danger to aging bones has caused untold suffering through fractures, immobility, and lost independence. The wisdom shared today offers liberation from that unnecessary suffering. The choice to accept this wisdom and act on it determines whether the suffering continues or ends. For those who made it through this entire video, who stayed present through the challenging information, who resisted the urge to dismiss or deny what they heard, there is deep respect and gratitude. Seeking truth even when uncomfortable demonstrates the wisdom that makes real transformation possible. Staying open to changing long-held beliefs shows flexibility of mind that serves well in all areas of life, not just bone health. If this information provided value, if it offered insights that could change the course of health in remaining years, please take one final action. Like this video if you have not already done so. Subscribe to the channel to receive more life-changing information drawn from the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. Most importantly, share this video with everyone over 60 who might be consuming spinach regularly without knowing the danger. Parents, aunts, uncles, friends, neighbors, people at church or community centers, anyone who could benefit from this warning deserves to receive it. The mantra shared earlier carries even more power now that the full teaching has been received. In the comments below, type, "I protect my bones with ancient wisdom." Add to this whatever personal commitment feels appropriate. Perhaps I have removed spinach from my home, or I will share this with my family, or simply thank you for this warning. The act of commenting creates public accountability and helps spread this crucial message to others. Remember that food choices made today determine bone health years from now. The fracture that happens at 75 begins with the nutrition patterns established at 60. The independence maintained at 85 reflects the wisdom applied at 65. Every meal presents an opportunity to either protect bones or damage them. Choosing wisely, choosing with full knowledge of consequences makes all the difference. Buddhist philosophy teaches that we are all connected, that helping others helps ourselves, that wisdom shared multiplies rather than diminishes. By learning this information and sharing it forward, by protecting personal bone health and warning others about spinach's dangers, participation in a web of care and protection extends far beyond individual benefit. This is how ancient wisdom continues to serve humanity generation after generation through individuals willing to learn, change, and share what they have discovered. The bones are the foundation of the body's structure. Protecting them protects everything they support: movement, posture, organ function, independence, dignity, and the ability to live fully until the very end. This protection begins with knowledge, continues with action, and succeeds through consistency. The knowledge has been received, the action is now, the consistency is chosen moment by moment, meal by meal, day after day. Thank you for your attention, your openness, and your willingness to consider truths that challenge conventional wisdom. May this knowledge serve well in protecting bone health and maintaining the strength, mobility, and independence that make life worth living at any age.